I'll put this down. My name is Fred, and I've been living here for the last year and a few months, 15 months or so. I love the space. I feel like it's something you can't get elsewhere in London anymore. I've had the opportunity to have a studio next to my bedroom, which is really nice, just behind that door there. And I don't think I've had something so cheap in London before. So it's great for that, and I get to use the space every day and do whatever I need to for my sort of job. So yeah, it's great for that reason. And what was the other thing you were saying? About, what do I think of the area changing? Yeah, it's sad. It feels like a bit of a sinking ship at the moment, with everything like around us, like new builds popping up, different people like coming in. It's going to go through a lot of change over the next few years, but I don't know. It's nice to be a part of it for now, sort of thing. So I'm grateful, I guess. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Bibi. I've lived in Hackney Wick since 2018 now. It's 5 years. I'm an artist, and this area is an ideal place to be as a creative because we have a great community. It's a shame to see all the new builds shooting up. The people, our neighbors, changed rapidly the last year, but we still have a great thing going on, and I love spending time here.
My name is Andrea. I lived in Hackney Wick for like 9-10 years, and I'm a graphic designer. I've seen the area changing a lot during time. I think gentrification really happened started happening before I moved in anyway, but like in these past 10 years there's been a really big change. I've always liked the area, especially when I moved in, because it felt very much like a bit of an anomaly in London. Really like that most of the neighbourhood would be old warehouses, old factories, and all turned into artist studios mainly. So most of the people you'd meet on the street would be what you would call freaks, I guess. But it all felt very, I don't know, like there was a lot of expression and freedom, and like I very much saw the streets as an art gallery in a way, and everybody just like really exhibiting their work. So that felt really cool. And then obviously, there's been a lot of change throughout the years. I feel like, kind of feels like the area has been sold in a way to a different audience. I got different friends that got evicted from studios that have been demolished. I mean, in just like the past 5 years, so many flat buildings just popped up, replacing a lot of other buildings. So I guess the vibe has definitely changed. The identity of the area has changed as well a lot. I feel like now it just looks a lot more like any other area of London. I feel like geographically, obviously, there's like things that make it special, like the canals and the parks and like the nature that's around. But in terms of culture, I think that's definitely changing. It's moving from something that was like genuine and organic and just spontaneously happening into something that feels a bit more artificial. I think that like the property developers or like whoever like planned this whole thing really saw that as an opportunity to kind of like sell an identity and fabricate just like this sense of like creativity and vibrancy. But in truth, the people that are responsible for making Hackney Wick and Fish Island special are being kicked out. So yeah, I don't know, I'm curious to see what will be left in the future, you know, if there will be anything left that's actually genuine, or if it all will be just a show for other people to come in here and consume it, you know.
Hi, I'm Bibi. Welcome to B7 22 Swede Road, our humble abode. But yeah, Hackney Wick. I probably moved in, come in about 3 years ago now, and like the rate of how many people come and go from here means I'm probably one of the longest people to live here. So there's such like a fast change of people, creatives, outside people and things like that. So it's just inevitable that everything surrounding the warehouses is also just like this fast paced boom 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 change and all of that. Honestly, it's the most amazing place I've ever lived, and I love it like wholeheartedly. Everybody that comes and goes is family, whether it ends on bad terms or doesn't, you always end up making up together, and it's, you know, the community kind of brings it all back to life again. Yeah, even from the past 3 years, like our leaseholder who lives with us has been here for I think about 4 or 5 now. I mean, probably pushing 6. I don't know. They'll probably shout at me for saying they've been here that long, but yeah, the amount of development that has changed since then is like absolutely crazy. Student halls, which I'm guessing nearly everybody has mentioned, that is like the biggest probably blow to the area. That isn't, I mean, people have to take it with see it from the positives as well, that all these people are going to bring a whole new life of creativity to the area. But it's also, I think as the community gets older, it's all the, you know, the younger community coming in, and everyone's going to be a bit like, oh my god. But it's going to be a positive, especially with the new V&A opening up and things like that. Like, there was a huge gap. I moved in during lockdown, and there was a huge gap when that all happened, that a massive chunk of the really like thriving creative people all had to leave and get forced out of the area. And that's when, well, like myself actually, everyone else just started weaving back in. But it's like, since then, the rent's gone up, so therefore the people who are being able to afford the rooms is completely changing, and it's, I don't know, it's like, you've got to just take it as it comes, I guess, and take it and use it as a positive, and, you know, and just get thriving with everybody else as well. But like, personally, I'm a set designer. That's my studio just over there. But it's an absolute state. But we are one of the last remaining warehouses that actually has working studio spaces to this size, especially. Like, each people have like a section to themselves that are actually included into the space. So the whole idea of them being live work warehouses is kind of going out the window. But everybody wants it's almost like becoming a brand, you know, to say that you live in a warehouse or something, and hopefully having places like this is going to keep that alive. But it's all the new leases are coming up, and then people are just turning them into almost like a block of flats, but pushed into like a tiny space, but using the term warehouse as to keep it kind of on the trend, and that's kind of upsetting to see. And they're becoming less affordable for creatives to come and move into, which is, you know, a big bummer. But all in all, I absolutely love the Wick, and especially come summer, it's absolutely booming around here. Like, the vibrancy just shows. Like, we might not have a lot of grass, but we got a lot of charisma, and it makes up for it. But, nice to meet you all.
Hi, I am Maria, and I have been 2 years living in this warehouse. I am an insights analyst, and I have a small fashion brand. And I am a maker also of clothes. And the new developments is not my favorite part from this area, because I like diversity, small commerces, and then it says like new developments. Maybe I think that makes the area more boring, I think, because yeah, before there used to be, I think, yeah, like more smaller things created in a more I don't know, random way and not just, I don't want this area to become the same as everything else. So that's my opinion.
Oh, sorry.
Hola.
So cute. Okay. I'm Calvin K. Budowski. I guess I live in a warehouse in Fish Island. Yeah, that's me. What else do you want to know?
What do you like about living here
Well, about living in London
in Hackney?
and Hackney.
Hackney Wick.
I mean, specifically, I love to live here because I mean, it's all very, it's a different environment, you know. Like since I've come to London, I've always lived in flats with other people, and it's just here, I just have met more like-minded people. There's a bunch of it's a big queer environment. It's very open-minded, you know. And I don't know, everyone is an artist. It depends on the warehouse where you go, but at least in this warehouse, for instance, everyone is working always, is giving you more motivation. And it just gives me more motivation to do what I want to do. And yeah, it's just very nice, and it's very chill. It's like a little bubble that lives in London that's not very London. You know?
Yeah. And do you have any thoughts about how the area is changing right now?
I mean, it is what it is. No, it's gentrification, you know, it's gonna happen. We want it or not to. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting when the students arrive and everything, and it's just gonna change a little bit. I know the warehouses have not a lot of time, time left. I feel you know, for sure. In Manor House, many things are also getting torn down, and I don't know. It's just what it is. I don't know. I just feel it's part of life. It's a change, and I don't think we can. I mean, it's very hard to fight gentrification. I feel you know, somebody says, "Oh, I really like this," and people will come and change it because there's too many people coming here. I feel you know, it's just what it is. It happens everywhere, and more in a place like this. I feel you know. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hello, I'm Luke. I live here at Unit H. We're in H4 here. This is a block of 8 flats, apartments that we sort of live. We've converted this into a sort of circus training and film photography studio. We both sort of work in film and circus, and so this kind of living suits us to the T because we kind of need space. Things need to be accessible for us in terms of equipment, and it feels like the what used to be Hackney Wick used to be a creative hub, and it still is a creative hub, but it's changed. We are probably over the next 24 months, it's going to be unsustainable for us to live here in terms of the cost of living here. The area is changing massively. The people are changing. So it's a shame, but we're embracing it while it's still here. And it's been a really exciting. I've lived here for 5 years in different warehouses. I've lived all over Hackney Wick, and so from living from 20 people to 10 people, all with different backgrounds, and it feels like we shared a mutual collective, an understanding of creativity and sharing ideas and working till God knows what time you want in the morning, whether it's that you want to drink, party, listen to music, write, paint. This has been the place that you can do that, which sadly isn't going to be the case for much longer, with there being fewer warehouses around here. Yeah, is there anything else you sort of want me to touch on?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Lou. I live in E7. I moved to Hackney Wick around 3 years ago, Fish Island, coming up to 3 years. I've lived in this unit specifically since November. Hackney Wick is the best place to live by far. I've lived in a few places in London, and I've always found Fish Island it's got the most like-minded people around. There's a lot of like, you find a lot of inspiration and you find a lot of motivation to do your own stuff. Because I do sculpture, so it's quite a insular thing, so it's quite useful to have some kind of motivation around me, because I feel having people around me doing stuff, even if it's like guilt motivation, it's still motivation in some kind of form. So that kind of helps me a lot to do my own stuff as well. Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Any thoughts on how the area is changing right now?
I think it's just a not natural, but I feel like it's the life cycle of areas. Like it's nothing new. It's not gonna, it's just kind of the way it is. It's sad because I think they always pick areas with a certain quality to them, and then they use that as the reason for why they're doing stuff there, but at the same time just completely erase it and like get rid of the whole reason that people wanted to move there in the first place. And I think they're doing that again here. I don't think they're really kind of keeping in line with the stuff that was already here, but oh well. I think that's also with warehouses, it's all just a big like kind of life cycle as people move in, people move out, and I think I'm going to be moving out at some point in the next 6 months as well, and find the next thing, and that's about that.
Thanks.
Sure. I'm Neve. I'm a musician about London. I thought the area is quite interesting. It's like half kind of gentrified and completely ruined. There's like this tiny bit just hanging on where kind of you'll get to roam free and do cool shit, which is nice.
My name is Lucia Julikova. I'm from Slovakia. I've lived in this particular warehouse for 2 years, almost 3 years actually. I moved into the area 5 years ago. I started working here at a gallery that was in the area as a curator. I'm an artist myself. I had to change my job and profession because of gentrification. The gallery was not prolonged or extended. The lease was not extended for the gallery, so we had to move out, and instead of the gallery now there is going to be a block of flats. There has been quite a lot of stuff happening around regarding erasing the artistic community in Hackney Wick and Fish Island. I am happy to go through this change for a couple of reasons. I'm very unhappy to go through this change for a million reasons. There have been quite a lot of artists that were made to leave and that moved to other cities because their houses as well as the studios got knocked down and demolished. I'm happy to be here because suddenly there is another fresh breath of artists and young entrepreneurs, young freelancers and young businesses growing, which I think is going to be a very positive thing about, in the future, about this community.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Christopher. I'm 24 and live in lovely Hackney Wick. I think I moved here maybe 2 years ago. Wanted to find a sense of community, which I think warehouses are so vibrant for. But it did feel weird, I guess, being in an area and you kind of just see the whole process of gentrification. It's like when I moved in, it's like we're very much at the ends of warehouse living here, so it's kind of weird to see that whole process end. I don't really know where it will go afterwards in a couple of years, but just living in the moment really.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Milo. I live in Unit 18, which is this. I haven't been living here long, maybe 3 months. Moved in after a friend of mine moved out.
What do you love about living in Hackney Wick?
I like being here because there's always people creating stuff around me, which is inspiring. It's my own process, and it's just good to be with good people.
Cool, thank you. Do you have any thoughts about the changes happening in the area?
Well, I haven't been here very long, so I've been told, because some of my housemates have been living here for about 10 years, so I've been told that it's very different, and obviously everywhere is becoming gentrified. But yeah, I mean, nobody wants to pay £7 for a pint. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Brandon, I'm 24, I'm a writer. I've lived here for about a year and a bit. What I love about the area, I just love the sense of community. It's a lot of great people who live around here. And it's sad that with all the new builds around the area, I don't think this place has got long left. It's going to be sad to see it go down the gutter. It's going to be a real loss. Not just to finish things, but just to community sense as well.
I'm James, I study sound arts. I like living here. It's pretty relaxed, an alternative way of living. And it's a shame that there's less and less of them over time, and the rent is getting sadly a bit more. But it's in my opinion, it's worth it because it's still a better alternative to guardianships, which are really, I don't know, they can chuck you out at any time within a month's notice. So it's a nice in between stability and chaos. And yeah, I feel it's gonna probably be gone in the next 10 years because of the student econ. Because it's already started, and then it's it's just gonna be whittled away bit by bit, and there's not really much we can do. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, so my name is Gabrielle, and I've lived here for 3 years in this unit, and it's really fun because obviously it's a very unconventional space, and I get to have the swing kind of punch back and this, and I get studio space. We have a really nice roof outside. There's a nice sense of community here. Everyone's trying to be open and if we don't have something, any neighbour I can go to, or just hanging out, I can just knock on a neighbour's door and spend time there. It's not really need to organise it. But I am also we do events here, and that's really fun. And we've got this massive space to do it in. So I throw punk and political nights. We do tattoo and piercing flash days with music. We did an electronic music night with performing arts, and it was really cool because the people doing performing arts can use this whole space, and we have people dangling from here. Obviously, when we've got the punk gig going on, we have people swinging from the punch bag and stuff like that. So that's really fun. And yeah, it's just about bringing people together because these are really nice spaces, and I feel people are craving to have an actual kind of intimate, unique experience. I really hate going to really massive nightclubs or massive cafes where they play fucking shit house music and you pay £5 or £7 for a pint in a plastic cup, and there's a massive queue for the toilets. There's no heart, there's no soul in any of it. These events are non-profit. We don't make any. We make some money for the kitty because it takes a lot of time to clean up the house afterwards, but it's it's non-profit. We make sure we pay people who are involved, and a lot of people just want to be involved because they want to be here, and that is also the point we do it as well, because you don't want to force anyone to do anything. You should just want to be here because you want to be, and that's how these kind of things work. And I might drop you.
Hi, I'm Corinza. I'm 22 years old and I work in sustainability. Yeah, I really like, what I really like about living here is probably like the community and like the people mostly. Yeah, I moved to London like 6 months ago, didn't really know anyone here, and like I've come into this like amazing community, met so many really interesting people. I also really like the fact that people kind of like try and do things themselves with like things that they find on the street and without spending loads of money. That's like something I, yeah, obviously sustainable as well, so.
Cool, thank you.
Hello, my name is Ava, I'm a photographer. I live in Hackney Wick. I've been here for like a year and a half now. I do documentary photography and I'm currently capturing the downfall of Hackney Wick as it's becoming ongoingly gentrified, and yeah, I think it's really important to capture the kind of final chapter and like archive, because that's all we'll have left after it's all gone. So yeah, pretty much.
Cool, and where do you think it's going then, and what do you not like about it changing?
Well, they're kind of like ripping the culture out of it, I feel, out of the area, and I think that yeah, all the new builds are, you know, like it's essentially and inevitably going to be gentrified in some sense because of the Olympics and all that. But yeah, I'm hoping that they'll restore some of the little like cultural pockets within the area, and we'll see a new kind of, you know, generation, you know, come and like rebel against all of the loss of culture and community as well. So I'm hoping to see like a new wave of people, since there's a new LCF uni halls in Hackney Wick just around the corner here, and yeah, I'm hopeful basically.
My name is Alan, 26 years old. I live in London, Fish Island, Hackney Wick, Redgates, and it's great. We've got a really great community in here, really fun people, lots of fun things happening. There's always something creative going on, and you see and meet people from kind of pretty much every walk of life from all over the world. People kind of on different chapters in their lives, working on their own things. So that's good. What I don't like, all of these new builds. I mean, like, I suppose no hate to people looking for a place to live, but when it's at the expense of poorer, more disadvantaged people who are ultimately bringing the culture that makes people like this gravitate to places like this, it does feel like a bit of a slap in the face, and does feel largely disrespectful. That being said, none of them have been explicitly rude to us yet.